Jonathan David versus Edin Dzeko, a 26-year-old Juventus striker at the peak of his career against a 40-year-old legend playing his very last World Cup match. That right there tells you everything about this game. Canada today are young, hungry, electric, and playing in front of 60,000 screaming fans at BMO Field in Toronto. Alphonso Davies back from injury. Tejan Buchanan ready to tear Bosnia apart on the wing. Steven Eustachio controlling the midfield. Bosnia on the other side have one plan, one weapon, one man. Dzeko, 40 years old, still dangerous, still clinical inside the box, and surrounded by a young squad that already knocked out Italy on penalties. So do not even think about underestimating them. Today, I am breaking down every key player, every expert prediction, every tactical matchup, and giving you my honest take on who wins this game and why. Canada or Bosnia? Let us settle this right now.
Let me start with the big talking point around Canada going into this match, and that is Jonathan David's form, because I want to be completely honest with you here. The Jonathan David walking into this World Cup is not the same Jonathan David we saw tearing apart League One for Lille season after season. That David was unstoppable. Goals every week, assists every week, one of the most feared strikers in European football. This David, the one who moved to Juventus in Serie A this past season, has struggled. He managed just 6 Serie A goals in his first season with the Italian Giants. 6 goals, and only one of those came after February. That is a serious drop in output for a player who was previously averaging 20 or more goals a season at club level. Now here's the question I keep asking myself. Does that matter at a World Cup?
And honestly, I think it matters less than people think, because international football is completely different from club football. Different pressure, different motivation, different atmosphere. And Jonathan David in a Canada shirt in front of his home crowd at BMO Field in Toronto is a completely different animal to Jonathan David grinding through a difficult first season at Juventus, trying to impress a new fan base. He has 39 international goals in 77 appearances for Canada. 39. That ratio does not lie. He knows how to score for his country. He knows how to perform in big moments for his country. And today is the biggest moment in Canadian football history. I fully expect him to show up. The key for Canada is getting him the service he needs. He is the penalty taker. He is the reference point for everything Canada build going forward. Every attacking move, every wide run, every through ball, it all eventually looks for Jonathan David. And when Bosnia's defenders are watching him, which they will be all game, that is when Tejan Buchanan and Kyle Larin make their moves. Now let me talk about the massive question mark hanging over Canada's starting lineup today. Alphonso Davies. Davies is Canada's captain. He plays for Bayern Munich and is arguably one of the top 5 left backs in world football right now. He is explosive, creative, intelligent going forward, and he gives Canada an attacking dimension on the left side that nobody else in the squad can replicate. According to Squawka's data, Davies registered 0.28 expected assists per 90 minutes in the Bundesliga this past season, placing him in the 97th percentile among all defenders in the world for chance creation. 97th percentile. That means when Davies is on the pitch, Canada are not just a team with a solid left back. They are a team with a creative weapon down the left that can unlock any defense in the world. The problem is his hamstring. Davies picked up a hamstring injury late in Bayern Munich's season and has been racing to be fit for this tournament. The latest reports suggest he is doubtful for today's opener, but that Marsch expects him to feature at some point during the group stage. If Davies starts today, Bosnia have a massive problem. If he does not start, Canada still win this game, but the margin is smaller and the path is harder. Beyond Davies, Canada have real quality throughout this squad. Tejan Buchanan on the right wing is electric. He plays for Club Bruges, and he is the kind of player who causes chaos every time he gets the ball in a dangerous area. He is fast. He beats defenders. He creates chances from nothing. Bosnia's left side is going to have a very uncomfortable afternoon against him. Steven Eustachio in midfield is the brain of this team. He plays for Porto, and he is one of the most technically gifted midfielders Canada has ever produced. He controls tempo. He keeps Canada patient when they need to be. He switches the ball quickly. He reads the game brilliantly. And alongside him, Ismail Kone,
who plays for Marseille, is the engine. The legs, the player who covers every blade of grass and wins back possession before Bosnia even get into dangerous areas. Jesse Marsch has set this team up in a 4-4-2 with high pressing and quick transitions. The idea is to win the ball high, play quickly in behind Bosnia's defense, and use Canada's pace advantage out wide to create crossing opportunities for David and Larin in the box. It is a system built for exactly this kind of match, at home, as favorites, against a team they are expected to have more quality than.
Now let me tell you about Bosnia, because every single expert I have read is warning people not to underestimate this team, and they are right. Let me start with the man at the center of everything Bosnia do. Edin Dzeko, 40 years old, 148 international caps, 73 international goals, Bosnia's all-time top scorer by a massive distance. He is the last active player from Bosnia's golden generation that reached the 2014 World Cup. Miralem Pjanic retired. Everyone else has gone. Dzeko is still here. And here is the thing that surprised me when I dug into his recent form. He is not just playing, he is actually scoring. He moved to Schalke in the German second division this season and became the oldest goal scorer in the history of the second Bundesliga. He scored 6 goals in his first 8 appearances for them. 6 goals in 8 games at 40 years old in a competitive league. So yes, his pace is gone. Yes, he cannot make runs in behind defenders anymore. Yes, he cannot beat players 1 versus 1 the way he used to. But his positioning is still elite. His aerial ability is still excellent. His link-up play, holding the ball, bringing teammates into positions, is still top level. And on set pieces, he is still a genuine danger. Bosnia scored 8 goals during World Cup qualifying, with Dzeko leading the line. He scored 5 of them in the group stage alone. And then he scored the dramatic late equalizer against Wales in the playoff semifinal when Bosnia were 1 game away from going out. The man delivers in big moments. That is not going to change just because he is 40. But the player I am most excited to watch from Bosnia today is not Dzeko. It is Ermedin Demirovic. 28 years old, plays for Stuttgart in the Bundesliga, scored 15 goals in the Bundesliga this season. 15 goals in one of the most competitive leagues in Europe. That is genuinely impressive output. He is the player who does the work that allows Dzeko to stay in the box and score. He presses from the front. He runs in behind. He creates space. He links the midfield to the attack. And he can score himself. He is not just a supporting act. He is a real threat. These two together give Bosnia something interesting. While Canada's defenders are tracking Dzeko, Demirovic is making the run. While they shift across to cover Demirovic, Dzeko is finding the pocket of space in behind. It is a classic 2-striker combination, and it can cause real problems for Canada's center backs, who are not the most experienced pairing at this level. Then on the wings, Bosnia have Esmir Bayraktarovic, 21 years old, plays for PSV Eindhoven in the Netherlands. He is creative, unpredictable, and he can deliver quality balls into the box. He created 13 chances in qualifying across just 7 games, more than almost any other Bosnia player, and he has an incredible story. He was born in America and actually made 1 appearance for the United States national team before switching his allegiance to Bosnia. And then he scored the winning penalty against Italy in the shootout to send Bosnia to this World Cup. That is the kind of player who steps up in massive moments. Remember that. In defense, Bosnia have Sead Kolasinac at left back, the former Arsenal and Schalke man who has spent his whole career playing at the highest level. He is not going to be intimidated by the occasion or the crowd. Alongside him, Tarek Muharemovic and Nikola Katic are solid center backs who are physical and well organized. And in goal, Nikola Vasili, the man who was absolutely outstanding in both penalty shootouts against Wales and Italy. He made crucial saves at crucial moments. He does not crack under pressure. And today, playing in front of 60,000 fans who want him to fail, he is going to need every bit of that mental strength. Manager Sergei Barbarez has set Bosnia up in a 4-4-2 that is physical, high energy, and built around quick transitions. They do not try to outplay teams with possession. They work hard without the ball, stay compact, and then when they win it back, they go directly and quickly. Get the ball forward fast before the opposition can reorganize.
Find Dzeko or Demirovic in dangerous positions. Score. It is simple, it is effective, and it has beaten Italy. Now let me show you what the experts are actually predicting, because I have gone through every major analysis site and the picture is interesting. The Opta supercomputer ran thousands of simulations of this match and gives Canada a 52.7% chance of winning. Bosnia have just a 24% chance. A draw sits at around 23%. RotoWire's prediction is Canada 1, Bosnia 0. They believe David scoring the decisive goal fits this game perfectly. One tight, hard-fought result where Canada's individual quality just edges them over the line. Predicts also goes 1-0 to Canada, and they are backing under 2.5 total goals, meaning they expect a tight, low-scoring game. CBS sports analyst Martin Green has an interesting take. He says both teams should find the net. He is backing over 2.5 goals and believes the home advantage will ultimately prove decisive. But he emphasizes it will be close. The most contrarian view comes from Sportsbook Review, who actually think Canada are being overvalued here. Their analyst argues that Canada have drawn 3 of their last 4 games. They are not a team that consistently wins. And Bosnia, despite being ranked 64th in the world, have proven they can grind out results when it matters. This analyst is actually predicting a draw. The betting odds tell a clear story, though. Canada minus 120 to win, Bosnia plus 370 to win, draw at plus 265. The market believes this is Canada's game to lose.
What really convinced one expert, Chris Vasil from Covers.com, with 13 years of betting analysis experience, was the tactical matchup. He pointed out something I thought was really smart. Bosnia defend aggressively and man-to-man across the pitch. That style actually creates transition opportunities for Canada, because when Bosnia press high and commit men forward, Canada's pace out wide and in attack can punish them on the break. Buchanan running at a high defensive line, David in behind. That combination against Bosnia's aggressive pressing style could be devastating. So let me give you my honest prediction, and I am going to factor in everything: the expert opinions, the form, the tactics, the injury situation, the pressure. I think Canada win this game, but not by a comfortable margin. I think the score ends 2-1 to Canada. Here is my reasoning. Jonathan David scores. I am almost certain of this, in front of his home crowd, in the biggest game in Canadian football history. He needs this. Canada needs this. And Bosnia's center backs, while solid, have not faced a striker of David's quality all tournament. One moment of pace, one clever run, one clinical finish. That is all he needs. Tajon Buchanan causes absolute chaos on the right wing all game. Bosnia's man-marking defensive style means he gets into 1-versus-1 situations constantly, and he wins those situations. He either scores or creates the second goal directly. But Dzeko scores for Bosnia. I am backing this too. He is too experienced, too dangerous in the box, and Canada's defensive record, while improved, is still the weakest part of their team. One moment, one set piece, one cross into the box where Dzeko loses his marker and gets on the end of it. That is all it takes with a player of his quality. 2-1 Canada. A tense final 20 minutes. Bosnia pushing for the equalizer. Canada holding on through pure home crowd energy and desire. And Jonathan David, the man carrying the hopes of an entire nation on his shoulders, scoring the goal that matters. That is my full breakdown of Canada versus Bosnia at the 2026 World Cup. I have gone through every expert prediction, every key player, every tactical detail. The verdict is clear. Canada should win this. But Bosnia are not just here to make up the numbers, and if Dzeko fires, this game gets very interesting very quickly. Drop your prediction in the comments right now. 2-1 Canada? Or do you think Bosnia pull off another Italy-style upset? I want to know what you think. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button and subscribe. I will be covering every single match at this World Cup with full player and tactical analysis. See you in the next one.